Welcome to the Church of Thomas. Mukhtar Justice, 1:1:10. This is something that I was inspired by because I heard about this young woman who basically she tried to protect her brother from punishment, which in and of itself is laudable. Most of us would try and protect our siblings. He hadn't shown the best judgment and had crossed a line in a societal norm. They live in Pakistan and are Muslim. Now, I think it is wonderful that she tried to save her brother from the punishment that was going to be coming his direction. She went to speak on his behalf. Youthful indiscretion, that sort of thing. But as a result, she became the focus of the punishment instead. Unfortunately, the version of punishment that she was given was so much more than what this boy had done that it created a situation where she was galvanized to do something extraordinary with her life. She had been taken by the family of this offended party, who were ministers in the small rural community that she lived in, and she was raped repeatedly by all of the males of that family. The boy had flirted with a girl, which I can understand in that society he shouldn't have been doing, but instead of him being caned, which he would have lived through and, been very upset about, she had a scar put upon her for the rest of her life. She didn't take it lying down, and I admire her immensely. She went to a larger community and said, "Injustice, fix it." She went to court, and she got a judgment against the family that had handed down this judgment against her and had punished her for her brother's crime. The reward, the restitution, was in monetary form. Now, you have to understand that she was a pariah in her community now. She was labeled, undesirable because she had been raped. You see, in Pakistan, if you're raped, it's your fault. It doesn't fall on the males that had done it. It falls on the female who had it happen to them. Now, let's go back to this young woman. Her name is Mukhtar. And she took this money. She did not move away. She could have started a new life in a large town. Nobody would have known what had happened to her. She could have tried to deal with her trauma and gotten on with her life. She didn't do it. What she did was extraordinary. She started a girls' school. Even more, she started it on her family's land. Even more, from the roof of this school, you can see the building where she was gang raped. The lack of education that she had, she felt had hobbled her in her ability to fight back. So she wanted the girls in her community to have the opportunity, including the family that had abused hers girls. Now talk about forgiveness. This was a young woman who took a horrible situation, reached out to others, and is doing such wonderful good. She is changing her community. Now, it's not just a school, which you would say, oh, well, it's a school. You don't understand. They don't teach girls in that community. So for her doing this, there could be doctors and lawyers and agronomists and geologists and astronomers and all sorts of people come out of this school. A reporter from the U.S. spread the word about what she was doing and wound up with some donations that she has reinvested into several more projects. One of these projects is close to my heart. Basically, what she has done is she has created a legal advice system for any woman who comes. They can get legal advice as to what their rights are and representation in court to rectify the injustice. She has an abuse shelter. So women who are supposed to just take the abuse in this community and say, well, I must have done something wrong, now have a place to go. It is changing the whole environment. Now, you probably are saying, well, okay, so she's doing some good stuff. What's the big deal? Nice pat. But there's something different here. In Pakistan, she could be killed at any moment. She didn't just stay in this community to reinvest her restitution money. She is risking her life every single minute that she is there. The family that raped her, the city council that raped her, has made it known that if they ever catch her alone, she's dead. They're going to do it. And they probably will get away with it too, but she stays. Here are some verses that I think would be very good to remember. You usually think of leaders as people that are, powerful and influential. Reconciler Gospel of Thomas, verse 3. Jesus said, "If your leaders say the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the air will get to heaven before you. If the leaders say heaven is in the sea, the fish will get to heaven before you. Instead, know that heaven is inside of you and heaven is outside of you. If you learn who you truly are, you will step into the presence of the One, and you will know that you are children of the One. If you do not seek to find your true self, you live in the dark. You are part of the dark, and you aid in the darkness." She is not aiding in the darkness. Another good quote is Romans 12, 1 through 2, and 12, 6 and 8. "Therefore, I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. Do not conform any longer to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good and pleasing and perfect will." "We have different gifts according to the grace given us. If a man's gift is prophesying, let him use it in proportion to his faith. If it is serving, let him serve. If it is teaching, let him teach. If it is encouragement, let him encourage. If it is contributing to the needs of others, let him give generously." These are views of leadership that come from what Jesus taught. This young woman, Mukhtar, I will pray for her safety every day because she is a true leader. May Allah bless her. May God bless her. God bless the whole world, no exceptions. Angel